Hey there, friends. Welcome to Bronze Medal Moms. We aren't going for gold. We're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we are here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood. Back to Bronze Medal Moms, the podcast where you don't have to be the gold medal winner to still get through the day.
I know, that's right. And I've missed you, Amanda.
I missed you too.
Yeah. But I noticed for our listeners who may not be able to see us, Amanda, you're wearing a new necklace today.
Oh, well, I'm wearing, this is funny. I'm wearing two necklaces, one that goes with my outfit and one that has no place with my outfit. But it's this multi-bead rainbow necklace with a letter on it. And I got it, my daughter got it as a gift for Christmas. And I've been telling her, you got to put your stuff away. You got to put your stuff away. Put your stuff away. Put your jewelry away. You've got all these nice new necklaces. We got you a little thing to display them. Put it away. Put it away. Put it away. And I told her, I was like, if I find that thing on the floor one more time, I'm taking it. So I took it. And I'm going to wear it all day today. And I'm going to pick her up in Carline. And she's going to be like, why are you wearing my necklace? Oh, it's mine now.
I love it. I love it. So, Carline, we have got to talk about Carline because, today's episode, the do's and don'ts of Carline. I mean, it's like this chaotic ballet or chaotic something that we are participating in almost every single day. But like growing up back in the day, Carline was not a thing. Like Carline was not a thing when we were in school.
No, I was listening to another person. I love what they said. They said Carline is a truly soul-sucking way to start and to begin and end your day.
So my daughter goes to a private school. We don't have buses. So that's why I have to participate in Carline at drop-off and pickup. But I mean, because I think a lot of public schools here still do the bus. Is it just like less buses? Do kids not have to go as early if their parents take them? Like, why is Carline such a thing? Do you know?
I don't know, but I will say I was looking at that. I was curious. You know how I like to look at my little facts. And according to Blue Zone, 30 years ago, almost 60% of the children living within 2 miles of their school either walked or biked to school. And now that number is less than 15%. And I will say guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Because we live a half mile from our school, a half mile from our private school, and we don't walk. We drive. And it's because we can't get our act together in the morning. And the sad thing is, I have to get there early because I work at the front desk. And sometimes when we get in our car and we're pulling out of the driveway, our neighbors that are walking to school, they're walking to school and we're driving past them so I can get to the desk in time by the time they get, it's morbidly embarrassing.
I love it.
But I will say, I will try to do, like, on the days I have off, I'll try to go walk to pick them up from school to like get my steps in and I get their scooters or something. But also I was thinking about this with the saying walking or biking. I don't even think people know where our school bike racks are. I never see a bike on our bike rack.
Oh yeah. That's not a thing. That's just not.
And then you remember growing up, it was like slammed. It was like the skis in a ski school thing that all slammed in there in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I grew up, we always rode the bus. And like, you know, your mom never picked you up and you didn't miss the bus because, gosh, you didn't want your parent to have to take you to school. Like that wasn't a thing. It was always the bus.
I never rode the bus. I always walked to school.
Oh, see, we didn't. We lived out. I went to like a country public school. Like we were too far away. But let's set the stage though for Carline because it's kind of where parenting meets NASCAR pit stops, but at a much slower pace with a lot of judgment from other moms. And listen, I'm here to tell you, we've got some do's and don'ts of Carline. I'm one of those judgy moms. Like, I'm going to admit it here because...
And I'm going to be the opposite. I'm the one you're probably judging because I don't give a crap. I don't care what anybody... I'm over 40. I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. But I also feel like we're both in Texas, and Texas weather at Carline, it's like it waits to rain or be hotter. Or just like if snow's going to hit that day, it's going to be during Carline to just kind of jazz things up and mess it up.
Yeah, that's so true. And I actually, on the way to my daughter's school, I pass a public school. Now, we're lucky. Our Carline, because it's a small private school, not that big. Still lots of issues with our Carline, which we'll get into here in a minute, but not very long. I drive past a public school Carline on my way to pick her up. They are lined up an hour before the school gets out. I kid you not, I have seen people with coolers in their pickup trucks, like tailgating in the back. There's another car that's always there that has these homemade curtains that they've put out on every window. Like they get in Carline early enough to like take a nap or I don't know, read a book. I don't know what they're doing, but we're going to talk about like, you know.
We have a smaller school too. We're K through 8, we're like 400 kids. So it's small.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's small. But I will tell you, we still have parents showing up 45 minutes early for Carline. And part of me was like, well, do they just want to be first in line? I honestly think some parents do it for a moment alone with like the heat seater on or seat heater on, all that stuff just to have quiet. I'm surprised they don't see people with a cocktail. I used to bring my my little handy vac and detail my car.
See that? Okay, I can see that. So I do think
you would have behind me in line, be like, "Who is this jack wagon?"
Carline, though, is really where like the true parenting skills are revealed. Like there's a couple different Carline people, right? There's the mom who's like 5 minutes early or an hour early. Or there's the mom or the parent, moms and dads, or, you know, parents or whoever's dropping the kiddos off. I don't want to assume it's just parents. Like you're peeling it on 2 wheels, like you're holding your lukewarm latte and you're hoping your kid doesn't notice like you forgot their water bottle. That may be more bronze medal.
Yeah. And if you're listening to the podcast, you're probably the latter.
Yeah. So I do think, so let's talk about like the do's of Carline first. Like we'll start on a positive note, right? Because one, we want to set people up for success. I think a lot of the problem is the school doesn't tell people how to do Carline. Like there's a method to the madness.
I think that there is, like, our school basically is like, flip a sign, hold a sign, and then we'll get to know your car and it's fine. But the funny thing is we have separate pickups and drop-off spots for different grades. I don't know if other schools have that, but only the kinder bridge through first grade are the only ones that line up early. Nobody else lines up early. Everyone's rolling in and they're like, wait, no, we're done. It's always the people that like just started the school. They're like, I gotta get there early. But, you know, kudos to you. If that's your time alone, or if that's where you get your work done, or that's where you scroll and get your private time.
Yeah.
You know, here you go.
Well, so our school is actually like pre-K and even toddler class all the way up through 12th grade. And we have one Carline. Like everybody gets there at the same time. Everybody picks up at the same time. And our school doesn't really send out rules. Like some schools send out like a 5-page manual with diagrams. Others just like shout at you through a megaphone as you pull up. And I mean, I can remember being nervous as a new parent, not knowing like, okay, like what do I do here?
And people aren't going to read that manual. They're not going to read the manual. No, because if the manual says pull forward to the orange cone, do it. Don't stop halfway because little Emily wants to have a shorter walk. Nobody cares about little Emily.
Right.
But I would say I'm one of those parents that I'm not going to read that manual. I'm literally going to show up and be like, what are other cars doing? That's what I'm going to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Right. And you also need to have your kid like ready to go. I always say Carline is for the stop, drop, and roll kid. I mean, I'm sorry, but like if little Johnny needs an extra hug or an extra kiss or can't get his backpack out, you got to go park in a parking spot.
Backpack on, shoes tied, stack members stored away. Carline is not the time to deep dive into the Pokemon binder at a sudden crisis about the lunch. I cannot tell you. So I also do the tardies at our school. The kids that I see, my favorite kids, are the ones that are still putting on a shoe getting out of the car. Like, not that the shoe's not even tied. Like, they just didn't even put it on in the car. And they're like, I'll wait till I get there.
So listen, that is my daughter. All of a sudden, she's in this phase. So she's a 5th grader. And she doesn't like to put her shoes or socks on at home for whatever reason. I don't know why. She grabs her shoes, she grabs her socks, her backpack, her walk.
She walked barefoot to the car?
Yes. Yes. And listen, there have been times where guess what? Guess who forgot her socks or shoes in the car? We're like halfway to school and we have like a 30-minute drive. So I told her, I was like, listen, unless you can find a spare pair in the back of the car, we're gonna have to stop at Walmart and like you're gonna wear to school whatever they have because I'm not turning around and driving home. So
if that were my daughter, she would do that every day. She'd be like, we have to go to Target again for more things. I need more socks. I need to pick out more socks.
Well, I was doing laundry the other day and I'm like, whose socks are these? And guess what? Daddy took her to school. She forgot socks. I wouldn't have bought her socks because this has happened more than once. Daddy, though, you know, he's the
softy,
nice parent. So he stopped at like Walgreens and got her like a 4-pack of fun socks.
My husband, I bet yours does this too, but he used to get so frustrated with me every time I'd go out with the kids. There's about 3. And every time I go out with the kids, they'd end up with like a little treat or something like, oh, so-and-so got new socks or so-and-so got a sucker or like nothing extravagant, but just something. And he was like, you just spend this money on the kids and we don't need these things. They're just wants, all this stuff. He'll go out with the kids and they come back with like a $30 toy that he's like, we just had to get out of there.
You're like, exactly.
Put in.
Exactly.
Little sucker.
Yeah. So listen, if your kid gets out of the car at the speed of molasses, it's either time for a motivational pep talk at home or you don't belong in Carline. You have to go park in a parking spot, right? And then
what's wrong with that?
I know there's nothing wrong with it. No, and
there's a parking spot. Walk in.
There have been times, I remember when Adelaide was in kindergarten, on one day after school, she had guitar lessons and chess. So she had her guitar and, and her chess bag and her backpack and her lunch and her water bottle. And I'm like, we're not doing Carline. There's no way you can get out of the car with all that stuff. So we're parking. Well, apparently it's not cool to park, right? So after the first day of me making her park and get off her stuff and walk in, she's like, got real stubborn. She's like, I'm getting all of this out of the car on the first time so I can have Carline. I don't know, my kid loves Carline. She never wants me to park and walk up and get her anymore. She wants to be the car in Carline. But
that's it. It's like it's her car. My driver's waiting for me.
That's probably more like
my driver's picking me up.
Especially because she's still in the back. She's not sitting in the front. So definitely like she has her own chauffeur. But can we also talk about how one of the big do's of Carline is to like, please wave at your teachers nicely because these poor souls, like they are out there in the rain, the sleet, the Texas heat. And, bonus points if you kind of give them a wave and a smile and you don't look like you've rolled out of bed. I often do. I often go to school drop off in my slippers still.
And if you did roll out of bed, again, we're Bronzeville moms here. If you did roll out of bed, a pair of sunglasses can hide a multitude of sins. Also, you're in the car. Just stay in the car.
Yeah. You know what?
Do not get out of the car.
That's right. Do not get out of the car. Or like even maybe engage with other parents in Carline because every time I go to Carline, with like, I haven't showered for that day and I have my slippers on. I'm like, please, nobody talk to me. That's when like a parent needs me to get out to discuss something. I'm like, dang it, I shouldn't have made eye contact.
And you walk out, you're like, ta-da, this is how I look.
Oh, yeah. One thing.
Have you ever seen those, there's reels that people have done that someone goes to pick up their kid and they're like, I'm here to pick up little Johnny. And they're like, oh, we need to see your ID. And they're like, oh, I'm his mom. I'm like, no, we know what his mom looks like. And it's because you put makeup on that day. And they're like, we don't know you, ma'am.
That's
little Johnny's mom is a hot mess. You look like you got your stuff together.
Well, one thing I did this year for our teachers, I noticed, in Texas, it gets brutally hot. I mean, like
right.
You live here. It's hot and gross and humid. And I bought for all of our teachers that do Carline, I think I got 5 of them, those neck fans, those like rechargeable neck fans.
Oh, that's kind. I love that.
Yeah, they were just, and they're not very expensive on Amazon, but they were just dying at Carline. And, they're doing their best to keep people going, keep people moving. So if any other bronze medal moms want to feel like a gold medal mom with the teachers for a day, I got them those fans. Yeah.
That could be a whole different segment. How to feel like a gold medal mom for just a day.
Yeah.
Today. Okay, those are the do's. The do's of Carline. Know the rules of Carline. Know where you're supposed to be. And that doesn't count first day. You know when it's on first day. Know the rules of Carline. Have your kid ready to exit and be kind. to the teachers or the person. Like, nobody wants to start their day cranky. Just nice. Be a smile. It doesn't have to be a whole big thing. A smile is nice.
Yeah.
But now the part we've all been waiting for, the don'ts.
The don't. These are the ones that I sometimes like scream.
These are how mom fights start.
That's right. That's right. And it's really hard. I've wanted to honk before, but we're such a small school. Like, they're definitely going to know it's me honking. So I haven't. I've reserved. But, the first one, and this is a hard one, is don't be on your phone. Unless you're there an hour early, I don't know what else you're doing. I mean, I've certainly been on my phone before, but you know who you are. You're like checking Instagram, you're shopping on Amazon, or you're in your group chat. And, meanwhile, your kid is out there looking at you like, are you going to unlock the door? Or you're looking down and you haven't closed the gap. There's like a 1-2 car gap in front of you. That's my big thing.
Right.
Close
well, and if you're there early, it's like being at a stoplight. Like, you don't just check your phone in the middle of the stoplight because you're probably going to miss the light. If you're stuck in traffic and nothing's moving, you might check your phone. But if you're in Carline before you get there and you're on your phone, once stuff starts moving, you got to pay attention. Things need to move.
Yes.
We're here for action. I'll tell you, I timed our kinder first Carline day, and they got all those kinder bridge through first graders out in 11 minutes.
Whoa.
Like, they're not messing around. You better pay attention or your kid's going to get put in somebody else's car.
Yeah. They're like,
not staying here. You're not staying here.
Yeah. So make sure this goes along with your phones. Make sure you're closing the gap. There should never be a space in between the cars and car line that another car could fit into. We got to keep moving it up.
Right.
Keep moving it up.
Because then goes to our next one, our next big don't.
Our next big don't. Oh my gosh, do not ever cut the car line. There is a special place.
Who do you think you are?
Oh,
who do you think you are?
Imagine. Oh, I mean, there's a special place in Carline Purgatory for the mom who skips the line because, I'm in a hurry. I just need to get my kid real quick.
Because you're the only one. You're the only one who does things and has priorities, and the only one that has children. So, little princess, you should go first because I don't have shit going on. Just sitting here, Carline. I'm going to go home and read quietly. I got nothing going on. Idiots. So freaking angry.
Kills me.
And it's someone like, if you do that, honestly, I really think you should have a sign in the back of your car saying, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you are. At least you're self-aware that you're an idiot. And because don't give us the I'm in a hurry and all that to make us less angry. Like, sorry. We're on a hurry, Karen. We're on a hurry.
Come on, Karen. Come on.
It's so bad for anyone named Karen. It's really gotten a bad rap. Really, I know some really nice Karens. Really nice Karens. There's some really nice Karens out there.
Really great people.
But even my daughter now uses that phrase. She's like, oh, she's a real Karen. That it's such a beautiful name.
Oh gosh. So what's our next big don't? I mean,
all right. Next big don't. I will tell this is a bit of a sad one because I have actually read that especially in the younger years, one of the most damaging things you can do to your kids' sense of safety is forget your kid. Like, don't forget your kid. Don't forget to pick up your kid. Don't be late to Carline. Don't forget. And sometimes, stuff happens. If stuff happens and you are like, oh my gosh, I'm in traffic, I'm not going to make it there. Call the school. Tell them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is Amanda. Little Johnny is going to be hanging out with you for an extra 5 minutes. Let them know I'm away. Because if not, they're just sitting there. And like, this might seem obvious to not forget your kid, but you'd be surprised. Like, one day you're in the zone listening to your favorite podcast, and the next thing you know, the teacher's knocking on your window asking, you gonna pick up a kid?
Yeah.
Are you gonna let little Johnny in the car?
Or little Johnny.
Not kidding.
It's true though. And bonus points if your kid's first words when they get in the car are, you forgot me again.
Exactly. Well, and I'll tell you, because I have 3 and my 2 bigger kids are K through 8, And so like my kids go to a private school that's 15 months to 8th grade. So they're like different sections of the school though. But I just feel like one day we're going to be really busy and I'm going to put the big two in the car and start the car and realize I forgot the baby. I forgot to go to that side of the school. I forgot the baby. Luckily that's okay. We waited until 6. So we go pick up. But I was like, fine. I know I'm going to forget that kid one day. And even I knew that we haven't forgotten him yet. But my husband and I said this when we had our third kid. Like, we have had nights that we've forgotten to feed one kid. That happens. And the kid's like, no one fed me. Hello. But I was like, we're going to leave this kid somewhere. I just know it. It's just, we're so used to having the two. We're going to leave this.
I have one kid, and there were certainly times up until she could make her own food where she was like, at bedtime, she'd be like, you guys forgot to feed me dinner. You're like, oh, yep, we did.
Like, really? We had a great dinner.
The one
time for having so much fun at dinner.
My husband and I, especially when I worked in an office and my daughter was in daycare or like kindergarten, we would rotate who picked her up or who dropped her off. And I was always so afraid that he would forget her. Like he would forget her in the car, like in the heat, right? And, he'd be like, work. Or he'd be in a meeting and forgot to go pick her up. But I never wanted to like say that to him, but he saw right through it. I would always send him a text like, how was drop off today? Or how was she at pickup? Was she in a good mood? And he was like, I didn't forget her in the car. Like, I got her. I know what your code is.
That's a husband that knows his wife. He's like, I'm on to you.
Yeah, I'm on to you. I'm like, I didn't want to say I'm afraid you forgot her, but I guess I said it anyway. So there is another. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say those are the three big ones.
Well, I have another big don't that I don't. Okay. We put on our, and this is a big one for me, and maybe we could talk about it in another segment. But the big don't is do not open your door and get out of the car.
No.
I mean, it happened this morning. So when I drop off, like people have to get to work, right? We're dropping our kids off and then we're going to appointments, we're going to the office, like we have stuff to do in the morning. And I get ready to pull in and I see what I think is a grandma dropping off, little Johnny in the Carline. So we have a parking lot and then we have
part of this podcast, that little Johnny's a real piece of shit. Little Johnny.
And as I'm pulling in, I see Grandma get out of the car in Carline, leave the car running in Carline. She gets out, grabs little Johnny's hand, walks down the sidewalk. I'm like, oh no. But luckily, I saw it ahead of time because I'm always looking at the front of Carline because I don't like to get stuck behind people like that. So instead of going through Carline, then I just go to the edge of the parking lot and I make Adelaide get out, my daughter, at the end of the parking lot and go in. But I really wanted, like, I mean, to me, maybe
you can't yell at Grandma though. That'll get you right to hell.
But is it? No, you can't. And she's probably never dropped off before. But does it not? I don't know. If I see this one row, like it's in our school, it is definitely a car line. It's like a one loop that goes around all the parking spots up by the front door.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, to me, I would think I don't want to block that, but apparently not.
We did have a poor little grandma misunderstand, like she didn't get the assignment.
Okay.
Her grandchild had, I don't know if they broke their arm. It wasn't that serious, but like was in the nurse's office. And so we went to tell her like, hey, go park because they're in the nurse's office. It's going to be a second and then come inside. She took that as immediately leave your car and run in like the car is on fire and your child died. And all of a sudden she did so. Everyone in Carline sees this old lady just like run out of her car and run into the school. We're all like, wow.
I know. And listen, there are some like Carline confessions because we've all had Carline fails before.
I bet there were people that didn't like that I cleaned out my car. They might have been jealous.
Probably not. Listen, as long as you're not slowing down Carline, I don't care what you do while we're just all there waiting. Like clean your car. Whatever you got to do. I usually listen to podcasts. That's kind of my jam while I'm waiting in Carline. But one time, though, we did have a mom, and I felt so bad for her. She was in the middle of Carline and too far from the front to be able to escape and too far from the back to be able to escape, and her car broke down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I felt really bad. She was feeling really bad. So, like,
Oh, that's a terrible day.
Yeah.
That's mom.
Yeah. Or I have forgot to put my car in park before and almost rolled into somebody else's car. I was like a rookie.
Let's say that's the only reason that you can get out of your car is if your car has died or you just hit somebody else in your car.
Yes. Other than that, don't get.
Those are the only two reasons to exit your car. Other than that, you're good to go. There's no reason.
No, if you have to get out of your car again, you have to go park.
And I've had times that it's always what it is. Like you think you're fine to wear pajama shorts or whatever, and then you have to get out and you have to buckle in your kid. Which I would say this on the buckling of your kid. I always, because my middle one always wants the world catered to him. My bookends, they're a little more independent, like being independent. But the middle one, he's like, nah, just let me know. Let me know when you're ready. Buckle me in. And I would get him in the car seat and then go over and park and do the 5-point harness, or like get in the next line to exit and do the 5-point harness, not the pickup, because there's some kids that's super easy to do. And there's other kids that you're like breaking their sternum, trying to get them in the car line and the whole thing. But that could take another 30 seconds, which is a big deal in Carline.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, buckle later.
Love that.
We're adding to the don'ts. Like you can tell the anger runs high with Carline. There's 3 dudes and there's 22.
Yeah, I do. Lots of don'ts. Remember the don'ts, people. But listen, bronze medal moments. That's what we're here for.
It's true. So there you have it, folks. That's our do's and don'ts of Carline. Follow these tips and you might survive with dignity mostly intact.
Yes, and remember, listen, even if you mess up in Carline, you're still a winner in your kids' eyes. I mean, probably.
All right, I'm done talking. Thanks for listening to Bronze Medal Moms.
See you in Carline. Good
job.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Medal Moms. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.